Our Elaine Quijano is in Florida City, Florida. She joins me now by phone. Elaine, can you tell us what you're seeing right now? What are the weather conditions like?
So at this particular moment, Rena, we're in a lull, but that is something that we know better than to expect will last, because we have seen some severe storm bands come through. In fact, starting as early as this morning, before my CBS This Morning hit, we were actually standing out here. The crew was setting up for our live shot, and there was intense rain, intense lightning, and a lightning strike not too far away. I'd say about 60 feet or so away from where my crew was standing. It was very intense at times. And with those rains and with that lightning came a pickup in the winds as well, so that at one point the rain appeared to be kind of coming sideways. But that's not what we're seeing right at this moment. We know, though, there is the potential, certainly. We are expecting more of those kinds of severe conditions as the afternoon progresses here. We're also keeping an eye on storm surge where we are in Florida City, in the Homestead area. That's something that officials have said they're going to be keeping a very close eye on. There have been some evacuations in this area. But, you know, I've talked to some residents here who say they are very mindful of what Hurricane Andrew did 25 years ago. And it is because of that that they are particularly concerned in this Homestead area about what Hurricane Irma could do. I was talking to one woman who was 8 years old when Andrew hit, and now she has children of her own, and she was petrified, frankly. She remembers the force with which Andrew came through. She was sitting there in her home in Homestead, and her dad told her to stay put, and the next thing you know, the roof was coming off, and they were pulling her down.
Wow.
As an 8-year-old girl, trying to keep her from being pulled by those tornado winds. And so she was not taking any chances. She said she actually had her husband coming in from Iraq, he was serving on active duty. He came back just yesterday in advance of the storm to help her, because she's got 3 young children at home, and she is absolutely taking this storm very seriously.
You forget about those folks with military families who are single parenting through this storm. Elaine, I want to ask you, can you let us know where you were for the morning show and where you are now and how road travel has been?
You know what? So here's the thing. We are in Florida City right now, which is adjacent to Homestead. And it's interesting to look at the topography and the geography here. Apparently, we are in an area where we should be, and I say should be, relatively okay in terms of storm surge. And by that, I mean they've said we shouldn't have our vehicles flooded out, because, of course, that is a problem to try to get around. And how do you find those folks if you don't have a vehicle? So what we're going to do, actually, in the process of doing now, is head out to another area where we're told that there is already the beginnings of some storm surge event happening. And I'm told that's in the Homestead area. I can't tell you exactly where. We're literally packing up and heading out as we speak. So that's the plan for the rest of the day, and we'll be broadcasting there for the weekend news and for continuing updates on CBSN. But as of now, as you look around, this very much feels like a temporary reprieve from what will undoubtedly be a very intense evening into early tomorrow morning and throughout the rest of Sunday.
That's for sure. And I'm curious, Elaine, in this area, are you seeing mass evacuations, people trying to at the last minute get out?
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good question, because where we are, I can actually look at Route 1, which is Overseas Highway, the main way in and out of the Florida Keys. This area, Homestead, is known as the gateway to the Florida Keys. And the only traffic we have really seen, frankly, has been from emergency vehicles. At one point, there was a transport coming from the Keys. There's a Monroe County detention facility there, just before you hit Key West, on an island called Stock Island. And we're told that those were actually prisoners that were being moved out of that area on Stock Island. The Monroe County Sheriff felt that, this is the time to be moving them. That was the very early morning hours of Saturday. So it was probably 10 or more buses that we saw, school buses, accompanied by Florida State Highway troopers that were escorting this. And where they're headed, I'm not exactly sure, but that's about the only traffic that you see on Route 1 right now. It is, when I say it is deserted, I mean there is not a store open. The only folks that I've seen walk around, frankly, are, police here in Florida City and other officials. A lot of other folks have appear to have heeded the warnings and are hunkering down ahead of Irma.
And that certainly is a good sign to hear that people are taking this very seriously. Our Elaine Quijano. Elaine, we will continue to check back with you throughout the afternoon. Thank you again.
Sure, you're welcome, Rena.